we're going to make a dishcloth using the Alpine Stitch. I'm going to use mercerized cotton. You can get 24/7 cotton that I'm using. You can also get a fundamental cotton, which is also 100% mercerized cotton that you can get from Hobby Lobby. I'll have links in the description box below. And there are lots of other kinds of mercerized cotton that you can use, but those are just the only two that I have used because they're convenient for me to buy in my area. I will be using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. When you do the Alpine Stitch, you need to have your foundation chain be an odd number. So since I'm just going to make a dishcloth today, you can pick whatever odd number you want for how big you want your dishcloth to be. I am going to chain 39. Start with a slip knot. And then I'm going to chain 39. You can change whatever number you want as long as it is an odd number. And if you do chain 39, you will have approximately an 8 by 8 dishcloth, depending on how tight or loose you crochet. So I'm going to chain 39. Now you will start your first stitch in the third loop from your hook. So you don't count the one on your hook. So 1, 2, 3. That's the one we're going to go in, but we're going to go in the back loop. So do a double crochet in your third chain from the hook. And continuing in the back bump, do a double crochet in every stitch all the way till you get to the end. Okay, when you finish that first row of double crochets, you should have 37 double crochets because we chained 39 and then you skip 2 to start your first stitch. And the reason you skip 2 is so that your edge stays straight. So for row 2, we are going to do a chain 1. Turn your work, do a single crochet in that first stitch, and I'm going to work my tail in, and then do a single crochet in every stitch all the way down, and you should have 37 single crochet stitches in that row. Okay, I got to the end of my row of single crochets. So now you have a row of double crochets and a row of singles. Now we will chain 2, turn your work, double crochet in the first stitch, and then the next stitch is going to be a front post treble stitch. So to do a treble stitch, you yarn over twice, and then instead of inserting your hook in the stitches where you normally would, you're going to go into the front post. So this is where you did your first stitch. We don't count the turning chain. So this is the first double crochet down here in this stitch. So we go to the one next to it because that's going to be our next stitch. So you yarn over twice, then you insert your hook behind that front post. You yarn over, pull through the post. You should now have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. You now have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. You now have 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the last 2. So what makes it different from a double crochet is the 2 yarn overs in the beginning, so that's different. And then when you do your pull through, where with the double crochet you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, you just do that one more time. So you yarn over, pull through 2 3 times. So then the next stitch is going to be a double crochet. Make sure that you are putting that in the correct one because your front post treble blocks your row. So just if you need to turn and look at the back, just make sure that you are skipping this one because this is where your front post treble stitch is. So then you do your regular double crochet next to that. And then we're just going to repeat that pattern. So yarn over twice. We're going to skip this one because that's where our double crochet is. So we're going to go into this one. Yarn over, pull through. You have 4 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Then do a double crochet into the next stitch, and then a front post treble. And then a double crochet. So if you haven't done these front post stitches before, just make sure before you go too far along that you're putting everything in the correct stitch. So when you look at it from the front, there will be your front post trebles will have a double crochet stitch in between each one. And we'll have a double crochet stitch at the top between each one. When you turn it over to the back, there will be a skip. It'll look like it's a skipped stitch in between each one in the back, but it's not skipped. It's because you went into the front post of that instead of the stitch itself. Till you get to the end. Okay, when you get to the end of this row, after you do your treble, there will be one stitch left. So put a double crochet in that last stitch. Make sure that you've only got the one stitch in the back that's showing. That was skipped. Make sure that you have a double crochet between each of your treble stitches. And then the next row is going to be a chain one, turn your work, and put a single crochet in the first stitch and in every stitch going across. Make sure you're going through the front and the back loop. Go through the front and the back loop. Okay, I finished that row of single crochets. Now we will chain two, turn your work. Now we're going to do another row that has the front post treble in it. So if you look at it, you can see in between each of these front post trebles is that double crochet. So for this next row, our front post trebles are going to go in behind each of those front posts all the way across, and our double crochet stitches will go in the stitches right above the trebles. So you will put a double crochet in the first stitch, you will put a double crochet in the next stitch, and now we will do our front post treble. So yarn over twice, go behind that post. You're doing the post that's in between those two front post trebles. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through two, yarn over, go through two, yarn over, go through two. Then do another double crochet stitch, and then a treble, double crochet stitch, front post treble, double crochet. We're going to repeat this pattern all the way across. Make sure that you have the first two stitches are double crochets before you start that treble. So you're doing the same thing that you did before, where every stitch across all 37 stitches will have a stitch in it but the ones that have the front post will look like it's skipping in the back. And just like before, you will have double crochets in between each one, except for the first two in the row. When you get to the end of this row, your last two stitches will be double crochets, just like you started with. So for this row, we started with one double crochet and we ended it with one double crochet. For this row with the front post stitches, we started with two and we're going to end with two, and that's how you will do this whole pattern. So from here, everything that you're going to do all the way up till you finish your project is going to be a repeat. So your repeat pattern is 4 rows. So you take the 4 rows and you just repeat them all the way till you get to the size that you want your project to be. So the 4 rows are single crochet row, where every stitch is a single crochet, the row with the treble stitches, where the first and last stitch is one double crochet, then you do another single crochet row, then you do a treble row where the first 2 stitches and last 2 stitches are double crochets. So the thing to remember about your repeat pattern is there is a row of single crochets in between every row that has your front post stitches. And your front post stitch rows, one will start with one double crochet at the beginning and the end, and then the next one will have 2 double crochets at the beginning and the end. So that is how you repeat that pattern all the way across. And when you do your row that has the single crochets, like we're about to do right now, you begin all of those single crochet rows with a chain 1 and turn. And then when you do your row that has the trembles, you will start every row with a chain 2 and turn. So if you're doing a single crochet row, it's a chain 1. If you're doing your double crochet and treble row, it's a chain 2. You do that all the way till you get to the end. Just keep doing your 4 row repeat pattern. Okay, so my last row is going to be a single crochet. I'm going to end on that so that my top has a nice smooth, tight stitch line. You can end your project with your double crochet treble row, but your edge won't be very tight. It'll be a little bit loose where the single crochet is at a nice tight edge, where the bottom has a nice tight edge. I will cut. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a little knot in the corner of this, and then weave in the ends, weave my tail, Okay, so this is the back. This is not a reversible pattern, so if you want to make something with the Alpine Stitch, just know that it will look different on the back. So the pattern shows on the front only. It would make a really good basket.